Yo, what's up guys, MrSchnitzel in the house, and in today's video I will be talking about the new things coming soon to the games, okay, all the changes in the next update 11.2. So we're going to talk about the nerfs and buffs, what are the news and the new tanks coming to the game, the new graphics, etc. First of all, before I start, the most important thing to say is that we will no more have crew. That means in the future, if you are grinding a tank, let's say, I don't know, let's say any tank which is not for me completely trained yet, okay? This one, for example, the Centurion, we can see that my crew is at 75%. If you buy any new tank, okay, you will have a choice to get it for free, 50% crew, and you need to grind the rest, or you pay credits and you will get a 75% crew, or you pay gold and you will get 100% fully trained crew. This thing will just disappear. The new tanks, after the next update, if you buy any new tank, the tank will be automatically fully trained at 100%, and that's really a pretty good thing. Yeah, sadly I already grinded all the tanks in the game. I no more need to grind any tank, but maybe in the future we will have a new tech tree lines, and that will be much more fun. If you grind a tank, you will have it automatically at 100% crew. The crew will be fully trained. That's really a huge let's say simplification of the game, make it much more easier, enjoyable, more fun, especially for new players. The thing is, I was always struggling. If I buy a new tank, I don't want to, of course, waste my gold, but if you play with that tank only 75% crew, that means that maybe affect your win rate, because you are playing with a tank which is not fully trained, and that really sucks a lot. And I was always embarrassed that my win rate goes down when I'm grinding new tanks because they are not fully trained, and I of course don't want to waste my gold to get 100% fully trained crew. So that will disappear. That's the first huge change in the update. And now let's check out all the nerfs and buffs in the game about yeah, the tanks which are going to be which will have some changes. Let's check this out. Well, here we go. The first change which make me sad. They are going to ruin my Leopard 1, one of my favorite German tier 10 medium tank. The Leopard 1 will get a buff. Reload time will be longer, that means less TPM. The HP, okay, from 800 to 750. Reload time from 6 second 23 to 6 second 71. That's a huge difference. Okay, we will have much more less CPM with that. The power to weight ratio from 20.8 to 19.8. Rotation speed also less. Look at this, 16 to 55.8. I think degrees per second. Gun turn limit also limited. Okay, 28 to 27, less gun depression. I mean, the maximum speed reverse is getting a buff, 2 km/h more, and we are going to have gear oil provisions and adaptive concealment mechanic. Okay, but still, for my opinion, more nerfs than buffs, but we will see. I'm excited. I mean, the developers making the game, they have for sure ideas, and they want to make, I think, the game enjoyable and as balanced as possible, and I think there is some reasons why they did this. The next tank is the E100. Is getting also a penetration nerf, the alpha nerf, okay, from 680 to 660. The reload time, whoa, we're going to have a faster reload time. That's really pretty insane. And a better penetration for the 128mm gun. So maybe they want to push some players to use the other gun maybe, but you know, now you're going to have a buff on the 128mm gun and a nerf on the 152mm, I mean shell, okay, or gun, whatever. The aim time will be also better for the 128mm gun. The power to weight ratio from 9.3 to 9.7. The hull rotation speed will be a bit faster, from 27.86 to 26.75, more than 1 second. Okay, that's really faster. I'm excited to see how the E100 will be performing then. The E50M, we're going to have reactive armor consumables, a small armor buff, the reload time also DPM buff from 6.9 to 6.52 seconds of reload time, and the shell speed will be slower. Okay, interesting. The Jagdpanzer E100 will get an HP nerf from 2150 to 2150 hit points less. The aim time will be longer, the reload time will be longer. Oh my god. They are nerfing my Jagdpanzer E100. Okay, let's keep going. The Concept 1B will be, yeah, we'll get just small buffs. Reload time will be faster, that means better DPM. And the scatter factor of the gun when the turret is rotated, okay, we'll get also a bit more. I have no idea, to be honest, what this is. Whatever, let's keep going. The power to weight ratio of the T11 OE4. 14.6 to 14.4. The rotation speed will be faster, the view range will be worse, the aim time will be better, and we're going to have the sandbag provision for more HP. The XM66F, I mean, this tank is anyway pretty OP, so this tank will get a faster aim time, oh my god, a faster reload time, and we're going to have a change type shells from AP to APCR, and that's it. Well, this tank is getting a, yeah, let's say a careful buff, because this tank is anyway pretty OP, oh my god. Okay, if anyone of you got this tank, the XM66F, it will even perform much more better on the battlefield right now thanks to those changes, believe me, especially DPM and better aiming time and better penetration because they are changing the type shells. The T11 OE3 rotation speed, okay, will be less. We're going, he's getting a nerf of rotation speed. The view range better, aim time worse, reload time better, so better DPM and better view range, and the penetration of gold shell will get also better from 375 to 380 millimeters. So really not big changes, maybe a bit more, absolutely a win in point of DPM and penetration and aiming time. And the rotation speed, I mean, that really doesn't care a lot, so we're going to be slower in point of rotation speed, but a small, I would say a small buff than a nerf. The M6U, yeah, aim time for the 120mm gun from 4.6 to 5.4, wow. And the aim time, so this tank is getting nerfed or what? Getting better speed, getting less armor from 175 to 160. Yeah, I would say this tank is getting nerfed. Okay, let's check out the T95E6. Okay, he is getting power to weight ratio 8.4 to 16.6, rotation speed 33.48 to 37, okay, or nearly 38, not bad, so better rotation speed. And this tank, especially the cupola, the weak spot right there, will be buffed from 220 to 248. Now again to the Germans, heavy CDs and mediums. Let's check out again what's going on here. For the mouse, the mouse will get a faster reload time. The Kampfpanzer 50T will get, oh come on, no way, less penetration for the Kampfpanzer 50T, bro. I mean, this tank is OP, a small nerf for the penetration, but for that a nice aiming time, a faster aiming time. Okay, that's cool. The Grill 15 getting a faster rotation speed, getting a faster reload time, power to weight ratio 19.1 to 20.1, and the maximum speed from 50 to 53 km per hour. That's pretty nice for the Grill, but this tank is really only for pros. We have no armor. The Grill getting a small buff, but I don't like the Grill. There's players who love to play with the Grill, but for me, if you are spotted, they will all spam you and you will be destroyed. But it's not the topic of this video. Grill getting small buffs, okay? So guys, you know that if you play with the Grill, just play with it again. You will think perform better. The VK9001 getting a faster aiming time. Turret rotation speed also faster, and the scatter factor of the gun when the turret is rotated from 0.08 to 0.11. Alright. Now the VK7201. So the VK9001 getting actually also a small buff, I would say. The VK7201 getting also a bit less of penetration, so a penetration nerf, DPM nerf, reload time nerf, and yeah, a scatter off factor also nerfed. Okay, so the VK7201 getting nerfed. Oh my god. The STB1 also nerfed. Less TPM now, less speed chill, power to weight ratio also less, and maximum speed is better. Actually, yeah, let's say mobility speed buff, but the rest getting nerfed, but not big differences. The Type 7.1, I'm excited here, also getting a small DPM nerf, but for that Alpha of Gold Shell getting buffed from 360 to 400, and the penetration getting also buffed a bit from, yeah, we can see there 255 to 257, then the premium shells from 330 to 335. Really not that big, yeah, not that big changes here for the Japanese tanks. As you can see, there are small changes, but maybe we can see here bigger changes for the Hori. Let's have a look here. The Hori getting a speed shell buff, reload time also getting buffed, rotation speed getting buffed, not bad. So the Hori getting a good buff in point of DPM, point of rotation speed, and speed shells. That's really pretty good for a TD. I mean, the Hori got an insane frontal armor, and he's getting now some small buffs, which will make it more, I think, effective, and we can perform better battles with it on the battlefield right now, thanks to this, yeah, actually good buffs, not that huge buffs, but kind of small buffs, which will make this tank, I think, more enjoyable to play. Alright, now we arrive to the American tanks, especially medium slice and the T757 heavy. The M48 platoon getting reactive armor consumables and getting gear goy provisions. Reload time will be longer, so we have a DPM nerf, and for that reactive armor consumable and the gear oil provisions. The M60 getting the improved engine power boost, consumables, sandbag for more HP. Reload time will be longer, so a small DPM nerf for the M60, and the speed shells. The speed shell getting also nerfed. Okay, the T25 pilot getting more hit points, getting better, a bit better DPM with a faster reload time, but really very small changes, and the power to weight ratio getting also better, but also again very small changes. The Sheridan, the Tier 10 American light tank, getting better penetration, better speed, wow, better alpha damage, but with that power to weight ratio a bit less, and the scatter of fracture of the gun when the turret is rotated is also getting better. Alright guys, so the Sheridan getting really a very good buff, especially in point of speed, penetration and alpha damage. More alpha damage for the Sheridan. That's really pretty insane for all Sheridan lovers. The T57 heavy, rotation speed will be nerfed, the aim time nerfed, maximum speed, forward and reverse buffed. Okay, so less aiming time, less type rotation speed, but for that maximum speed forward and backwards. Well, yeah, I don't know what to say about these changes. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but they are not that huge changes, and yeah, the developers, I think they know what are they doing. I hope so, at least. And we continue with the not German, British tanks. We got the FV215B183 still in the game. We got and we heard some rumors that this tank will be removed in the next update, blah blah blah. This tank is still here and getting directly nerfed. Okay, the speed shell will be less from 730 to 690, etc. The aiming time will, oh my god, will be longer, more pain, more struggle to aim on the enemy, and the shot dispersion will be buffed a bit less, so better accuracy, little bit, but for that, yeah, less speed for the shell and longer aiming time. I don't know if this makes sense Whatever, let's keep going. The FV4005, the aiming time, longer aiming time, less view range, and less scatter factor of the gun. So FV4005 getting completely nerfed, but only few small changes. FV217 Badger, the speed forward getting buffed from 34 to 36 km/h. The terrain crossing capacity also better, so more mobility for the FV217. Rotation speed hull getting nerfed, and the view range nerfed. Okay, better speed, better terrain crossing capacity, less rotation for the hull, and less view range. And now the FV215B, better view range, but small changes from 245 meters to 250 meters. More hit points from 2300 to 2350, and longer aiming time, but also very small changes here for the British tanks. Let's keep going now. We arrive to the lights and the Chieftain MK6. Also, let's start with the Chieftain MK6. That's the most interesting because I'm seeing here a big list of changes for it. Rotation speed getting nerfed, aiming time nerfed, scatter factor buffed, penetration nerfed, alpha damage stay the same. Replace gold shell, APCR to hash shell, tungsten shell, and gear oil provisions are extra and coming to this tank. All in all, a few changes, but that's very good that this tank getting a tungsten shell. That's really amazing. The Vickers Light getting more hit points, getting more DPM. Okay, interesting. So we're going to have more players playing with the Vickers Light than with the Leopard, maybe. Alpha damage. What? That's really pretty interesting. Maybe there is a small mistake here, because I don't believe that we can deal much more alpha damage. That's a huge buff, 260 to 350. No, I think that was 300, 360, 380, and now the gold shell's getting a small buff, and the HE shell getting a small, the gold shell getting a small nerf, and the HE shell getting a small buff. That's how it should be meant there. The power to weight ratio from 25 to 28, also a buff. Aiming time buffed from 3.7 to 3.2. Penetration nerfed, and the shot dispersion nerfed. Terrain capacity, crossing capacity also nerfed, and shot dispersion there is a bit I don't know, 8 HE to hash shell. I think getting a new shells, the hash shell. There is here some mistakes, I think, in this list. Whatever, let's keep going. The Super Conqueror, aiming time 4.5 to 5.1. The gun dispersion coefficient after firing the gun from 0.12 to 0.13. The reverse speed getting nerfed. The reload time getting buffed for the Super Conqueror. The gun dispersion also getting buffed, nice, and the tank getting the reactor armor consumable. Let's keep going. The Chinese, we can see there the 121B getting armor buff, small changes, getting more hit points, and the power to weight ratio from 15.6 to 16.2. The 114 SP2, finally there, listen to me, getting the armor buff. That was very necessary for the tank, and they did it finally, because if you watch my last review about this tank, I told it this tank needs very fast armor buff, because anyone can pin you, and it's a heavy tank. That doesn't make any sense. The Type 5-9 getting HP buff, getting a huge reload buff, more DPM, adaptive concealment mechanic, and the armor is also getting buffed for the Type 5-9. Now the Chinese TDs and heavies, what's going on here? The WZ113 GFT, engine power getting nerfed, reload time getting also nerfed, so less DPM. Rotation speed from 37.9 to 30.9. Wow, a big rotation speed nerf. Well, this tank All in all, getting nerfed, as you can see there. The reactive armor consumable will be removed, and the alpha damage will be only 10 HP more. So, but that's this tank getting very nerfed in point of mobility and TPM. That's not good at all. WZ1321 getting a penetration nerf, as we can see there. The scatter factor of the gun from 0.11 to 0.12. View range, a better view range, faster bullet time, maximal speed reverse from 20 to 24, and the gear oil provision. So a WZ getting small buff. The WZ1115A, as we can see here, straight getting more hit points, only 50 more hit points. Shot dispersion getting buffed, better shot dispersion, gun dispersion. The power to weight ratio getting a small nerf, and the rotation hull of the hull from 28 to 30, also very small buffs for the WZ115A. I think we're not going to even feel a difference here because of these small buffs. WZ121 reload time getting nerfed, less TPM for this tank. Rotation speed turret also nerfed, power to weight ratio a bit more, and the reactive armor consumable will be added to this tank. The WZ113 power to weight ratio buffed, maximum health from 2300 to 2400. Very small changes here for the Chinese tanks. Now the French tanks, the Foch, the alpha damage getting buffed for both guns, for the 155 and the other gun 155 SA58 and the Mod 2. The reverse speed from 13 km per hour to 15 km per hour. Terrain crossing capacity also buffed. Reload time for the Mod 2 getting nerfed. Rotation speed getting buffed. Power to weight ratio getting nerfed. View range getting nerfed. And the armor, we are going to have more armor for this vehicle, especially for the main plate, the frontal plate. The lower plate will be nerfed, but the lower plate is not that important really because we can hide it. But all that stuff up there, the cupola and the vision stuff, where a lot of players can aim on them with even with HESH shells or with HE shells, they are getting huge buffs. So I think it will maybe no more possible to do huge damage and those small weak spots. So the Foch getting really a pretty good armor buff, okay? So it's really worth it to keep playing with the Foch 155 and getting also alpha damage buff. So only thing which got nerfed for this vehicle is the power to weight ratio, but we have better speed, better damage, better reverse speed. So the Foch is getting really pretty good buffed, I would say. The Batchat reload time, oh my god, a longer reload time for this tank, even more than 1 second. Are you kidding me, man? Type main shell from AP to APCR. Scatter factor of the gun from 0.16 to 0.12. Aiming time for 4.3 to 3.6. Reload between shells from 2.5 to 222. Okay, insane. The view range, oh my, why? That was the most OP thing about this tank, the view range, and getting a huge nerf. Okay, this tank is no more special for me, but this tank getting even less armor from 16 to 50. Well, yeah. Have fun playing with the Batchat, you will be grilled in seconds. Let's keep going. The AMX-30B, the most annoying tier 10 medium French medium tank. Okay. Getting the spool liner provision, getting the reticle calibration consumable, the power to weight ratio getting nerfed, reload time getting nerfed, whatever. I don't play with this tank anyway, and now anyway less. Reload time for the FCM50T. Oh, the FCM50T getting buffed in TPM, getting sandbag for more hit points and improved engine power boost consumable. So those are good buffs for the FCM50T. The AMX-50B, oh my god, getting a longer aiming time and getting very small penetration changes only for HE shells. Okay, really not that big difference here for the AMX-50B. but we will struggle more aiming on the enemy because they nerfed the aiming time. The AMX M448 reload time will be faster, but very small changes here. The reactive armor consumable and the armor of the upper plate of the hull will get a small buff from 210mm to 220mm. Alright, let's continue with the Italian tanks. So for the Minotauro, the reload time will be, let's have a look here, buffed. Okay, not bad. So we will have from 10.55 to 9.59 for the second shell, and the third shell from 9.59 seconds to 8.63 seconds. That's pretty good. The reserve shell will stay the same reload time, but I don't suggest you to use the reserve shell, the first shell. So a huge buff for the DPM for this tank, insane. And the alpha damage will get a small nerf, but I think all in all this tank getting a big DPM buff, and with the 10 degrees of depression and that with that insane armor, frontal armor, this tank I think will be pretty OP and performing much more better after the next update. For that we're having here also armor nerf, but only for the lower plate, from 260 to 210. But of course if you play with tank hull down, that doesn't make any difference because the enemy will only see the upper plate and your turret. And we have here the shell reload boost consumable added to this tank. Okay, very interesting, a huge DPM buff especially for this tank, for the Minotauro. I'm excited to try it out. The SMB CC64 getting, oh bro, the damage by middle 210, 265, getting here, oh, armor everywhere, armor buff. Oh my god, the SMB CC64. I mean, it was a very OP tank, and I have also a good win rate with this tank, and now this tank is getting buffed. Reload time, okay, from getting nerfed, sorry, longer reload time, and yeah, the armor is getting everywhere nerfed. Okay, maybe this tank will land in my garage, and yeah, we will see. I think it's not worth it to play with it. I always want to play only with OP tanks, and the Minotauro getting absolutely a pretty good buff, and I will play with it more after the next update. The VZ55, also a big surprise, getting a no-2 loader for 2 shells, getting better speed, getting less alpha damage, but for that of course 2 shells. The reload time will be from 12.18 for 1 shell of course, and now 17.74 for 2 shells, a no-2 loader. And yeah, reload between shells 4 seconds. The penetration will be, yeah, we'll get a small nerf, and the scatter factor of the gun from 0.01 to 0.11. Alright. The alpha damage for the T5051. 10 HP more alpha damage, and reload time will be longer. Okay, small changes for this tank, but more small nerfs than buff. The Carro 45T, let's see what's going on here. This tank getting not big changes here. Okay, getting nerfed in point of reload time. Okay, we can see there from 7.67 to 8.15 for the second shell. For the third shell, from 6.23 to 7.19, and the same time for the last shell. The reserve shell still the same. Okay, but still a nerf, a DPM nerf for this tank. A longer reload time, a bit small nerf, let's say, for in point of reload time and DPM. The penetration of gold shell will be nerfed, 10 millimeter less for the penetration. The gun turn limit will be also nerfed, more hit points, and the gun power provision will be added, and the gear oil provision also added. The Emil 2, the penetration of main shell will be nerfed from 252 to 248, and the speed shell will be buffed for the Emil 2. Alright, small changes there. Now the Soviet tanks, the Object 907, getting power to weight ratio from 20.9 to 22.2. The view range getting, yeah, just a very small buff. Reload time nerfed, rotation speed nerfed. I mean, that tank wasn't anyway the best tier 10 medium in the game, and now they are even nerfing this tank more. Oh my god, the T62A, what are they doing? Also nerfed, less TPM, longer bullet time from 7.52 to 6.9. The speed shelf also nerfed. Why? Improved engine power boost getting added to the T62A. The T100LT reload time, wow, huge buff for the T100LT. And point of TPM, faster bullet time, better penetration, 5mm everywhere, only for the AP and premium shells. The same, the HE shell will stay the same, no penetration buff. Power to weight ratio 28 to 29, also a small buff, and the shot dispersion getting also buffed. Better penetration, better DPM, better dispersion for the T100LT. The Object 777 anyway OP tank. I can't read that. It's in Russian. Reload time from 9.4 to 9.2. Okay, a small buff, and the terrain crossing capacity getting also better. Better mobility and better reload time for the Object 777. Not bad at all. I think it's getting just a small gun dispersion nerf. The IS-7 getting less penetration, less speed, but for that a better reload time, better DPM from 12.16 to 11.89, and this tank getting a small armor nerf on his lower plate from 150 to 139mm. Let's keep going. The Object 268 shot dispersion getting buffed, only from 0.355 to 0.345. The penetration getting nerfed, as we can see there, but also small changes. We still can do the job with 370 of penetration with the gold shells. Rotation speed getting also nerfed. So all in all, this tank getting nerfed everywhere. Only the gun dispersion will be a bit better. Nerfing of penetration and rotation speed, and the shot dispersion getting a small buff. The ST1 getting a huge penetration nerf, as we can see there, from 258 to 248, from 330 to 320 for the premium and the normal shells. HE shell stay the same. Object 260 shot dispersion getting a bit better. Turret rotation speed getting slower, reload time getting better, and the combat stabilization mechanic will be added to this tank. So a small DPM buff, and for that a small shot dispersion nerf and turret rotation nerf, actually a big turret rotation speed nerf. The Object 140 getting 10 hit points more alpha damage. Penetration getting buffed from 240 to 244, and from 290 to 298 for premium shells. Shot dispersion will be better accuracy for this tank, a bit longer aiming time, but a very not significant nerf for the aiming time, and you will have a longer reload time. All in all, yeah, very small changes, but balanced, I would say. The IS-8 getting a penetration nerf from 258 to 248, from 340 to 320 for normal and premium shells. So IS-8 penetration nerf, but a significant, I would say, this time. The Object 268 version 4, let's see what are they doing with this beast. The penetration getting better for the main shell. I mean, this tank is anyway OP, and this getting more penetration. Okay, I'm not complaining. They left the Object 268 version 4 as it is. That's pretty good. The Object 263, oh my god, my favorite Russian YOLO wagon. What are they doing with this tank? Oh my god, the rotation speed getting nerfed. The speed shells nerfed. Horizontal aiming angles from -7 to 7. Okay, this I think better. The change type shell, APCR to AP, heat stay heat, HE, aiming time getting better. Okay, so actually really not that big changes, but you will have less speed with this tank, and less speed of the shell, less mobility, less speed shells, and for that a bit better aiming time. Yeah, not that big changes. I think we will not feel a big difference. I'm very thankful that they didn't change the DPM or the main speed of this tank. Okay, really, I'm happy about that. The T22 medium. Oh yes, finally getting again a DPM buff. This tank was nerfed and then buffed again now. Interesting. Power to weight ratio 8.7 to 19.5. Wow, this tank getting a tungsten shell like the Kampfpanzer 50. The shot dispersion getting worse. Okay, shot dispersion nerf. The speed shell getting also nerfed. The scatter factor of the gun getting nerfed. Bro, the armor getting, well, upper plate getting 8mm more of armor. The lower plate getting armor nerf from 100 to 90mm, the side 80 to 87, 80 to 90, so only the lower plate, which is anyway useless, getting nerfed, but the rest I would say it's really an armor buff and a DPM buff. Okay, T22 medium I think will be performing better after the next update. The IS-4 having a faster reload time, 0.5 seconds, okay, not bad, getting more hit points, getting more speed, okay, and even getting more armor. I mean, the IS-4 was OP and it's now maybe broken. No, I'm kidding, but this tank will be performing also better after the next update. Now the Kranwagen getting here less penetration. I'm a bit confused here. Getting also a reload time nerf everywhere for the first, second and third shell. Horrible for the Kranwagen. Reload time between shells from 3 to 2.73. That's a buff, but for that they nerfed the reload time of the shells. The alpha damage getting a small buff, okay. So balance changes for the Kranwagen I think will not feel a big difference, because if they change the reload time, make it worse. So DPM buff, but for that they are giving a DPM a buff for the alpha damage, so I think we will not feel a big difference in those changes here for the Kranwagen. Progetto 65 getting less speed. Gun turn limit from 79 of depression to 78 of the 29 to 28 of depression. Not that good. So we got here a depression nerf. Bullet time will be also nerfed, as we can see there. Oh man, more hit point, the shot dispersion will be better, and the combat stabilization mechanic will be added to the tank. Also different changes, buffs and nerfs, but balance changes I would say, and I think that will not make a huge difference for this vehicle. Rinoceronte, my favorite tier 10 Italian heavy tank. The shot dispersion will be worst. Shot dispersion nerf, but more hit points. Very small changes. I think they will also not change a lot for this tank. The 6 TTP Lewandowskiego. Hull rotation speed getting worse. Buffed, nerfed. Speed bag nerfed. Power to weight ratio a bit better. Penetration of gold shell better. Also small changes, not very important. The CS63 getting a faster reload time, DPM buff, power to weight ratio better, shot dispersion buffed, maximum speed buffed, rotation speed nerfed, adaptive concealment mechanic. So even they nerfed the rotation speed, the rest was all buffs. I think that this tank will be better performing in the next update. The STRVK, the Stradwagon or whatever how it's called again. The power to weight, this tank got buffed and nerfed, and now let's see now. The power to weight ratio getting nerfed. Aiming time, oh my god, getting nerfed. Rotation speed of the hull getting a very small buff. Doesn't make any sense, whatever. Penetration 252 to 255, 310 to 315. Well, yeah, all in all, very small changes. Yeah, this tank needs absolutely more penetration as a heavy tank. It's a helium tank. Yeah, we got here the penetration, the rotation speed hull, but very small changes for this game. Not that important, I would say. And we can see here the new tanks coming in the game. This is the first one, a tier 7, I think French medium tank, the AMX 13 M24. Maybe I'm wrong, I'm not sure about its if it's medium or heavy or light. We will see in the next update, or if I have any new informations I will of course add them soon. Okay, stay tuned for that. The Iraq 105 Proto, a tier 8, I don't know, maybe it's a Italian tank, or I also don't know from which nation, but this is also coming in the next update, a new tank. And we got the Project Louis. It's, I don't know which nation. I will be maybe adding informations in the comment section if I have more informations about the new tanks. And we got the Project Murat. It's a tier 10 French medium tank, also coming soon in the next update. And those tanks are getting HD improvement for visual improvement. The VK72, the FV215B, the Conway T11, and I think this is the Japanese or Chinese TD, I don't know which one exactly, also getting some visual improvements. Well, yeah guys, with that we arrived to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If yes, you know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also make sure to activate the notifications, because I will be also posting soon the Battle Pass giveaway video where you all can participate to the next Battle Pass giveaway. We will have 3 winners, okay, stay tuned for that. And yeah, I will be announcing the winners of the Battle Pass and a live stream only for people who are watching the live stream, only for viewers. That's why it's very important to you to activate the notification and subscribe, and also send me already now a friend request to all of my accounts on European, NA and Asian server, MrSchnitzel YouTube. Send me a friend request, I will add you so that I can send you a gift if you are one of the 3 lucky winners. See you there fellas, bye bye.